Hello there. Doing the tutorial on how to make the wands that I made for the light up Harry Potter wands. So things you'll need are some snips. We got regular snips or the gauge snips. Gauge snips work well because then you can accurately clip your wire to the right size without gouging the wire. If you have these, then you won't need these at all, as long as you have a good tip on the front of them. Mine don't have a good tip, so I need these. That being said, also a pair of needle nose pliers or regular pliers, just to be able to grip stuff, kind of turn things as we go. When we create the button for the light to be able to light up, and the trigger mechanism for it, we're going to need to be able to twist this, so that's useful for that. You'll need a boba tea straw or something as thick as a boba tea straw. They work really well for the structure of the outer part of the wand and being able to fit the wiring through the inside. So I'll show you how to do that in a moment. And you will also need a bit of electrical tape. And I use chopsticks because they're the right diameter. But any kind of dowel that's like about the same thickness as a chopstick, which I believe is about an eighth or quarter inch. I think it's about a quarter inch. So yeah, quarter-inch dowels, they work well. You're going to use one to place, and here we are. We're starting already. If you don't have long enough wire, where the Christmas wire actually is long enough that you can just get a full piece, what you can do is just splice it by connecting the two pieces of wire to the length that you need, and then using the electrical tape to wrap around the part that is exposed. But I happen to have one that is the right size right here. So what I'm going to do is take the straw, and we're going to put the wires through like so. Just feeding them through. Make sure that if you have a light set where, I don't know if you can see this, but if you see on this light, it's a little fatter one way than it is the other way. If that happens to be your case for your old set of Christmas wire, then what you need to do is make sure that when you come to the end of the boba tea, you align it so that this point here is straightened with the way that you want your wand to line up. So I'm going to make sure that it is like so, where the point is down at the bottom and the fat part goes a long ways this way. So then what you do is you push it all the way in to where the light is just accessible, and that way you can get your light in and out and change it when it burns out. Or if you want to change the color, I'm doing a Hufflepuff light up, or just a regular yellow, but I'm doing a Hufflepuff thing today. And so now that we've got the wires down in here, what we want to do is make sure that they're as detangled as possible when you put them down, so that you can stick your chopstick or dowel straight up into the center. And you just want it to meet there so that it's got some rigidity, some structure. And then you take your second chopstick and you place that one in there as well, which gives it even more rigidity. This is why I use chopsticks, because they come in twos, and it works well for being able to get the length you need. So, there we go. As you can see, it's not going to damage the wiring now, and the wires are coming out at the bottom here. So what I'm going to do, actually, just a little bit, is pull that second dowel or chopstick out just slightly. The tip will be okay, but you want it out just enough for your 9-volt battery. Then you're also going to want, for finishing touches, you're going to want some crepe paper, some kind of tape. I'm using like a doctor's tape because it works just well. It's very malleable and doesn't stick as harsh as other things. Also, you'll need some scrap paper, which I have laying around here. But first, let's work on this. So what we're going to do is we're going to make sure this lines up just right. With the 9-volt. But before we secure it, what you want to do is you want to take another piece of dowel. It doesn't matter how clean of a cut it is, just get like, enough of the little pieces off of the end that you don't have a lot of poking through. But you want to take those and put them on the side. It's kind of a balancing act with your fingers. So what I do before I do that is you want to create a splint, essentially. You want to create a rigid structure where the battery won't move. So you can either lay it flat like this and then secure the pieces, or you can stand it up like this, which is what I'm going to do. And you're going to want to get your wire out of the way, so make sure you tuck that back. And then we're going to take that easy tape I was talking about before. This is why I like using it. You can find the edge of it. And it just is a quick tack to position tape. So what we're doing is just quick tacking it, ripping it off. That's another reason it rips very nicely. So we do that. Now it's secured a bit better. We'll take another piece, rip that off, and put it on around. And then we just make sure our dowel is nice and flush with the ends of the leads. That's all. And so there we have it. It's not really going anywhere. It'll go this way though. See, that's the problem is. So now with these two dowels, what you want to do is kind of secure it in place that way. But before we do, we're going to move our wire out of the way for sure. So let's see, I'm going to switch this around this way, because what'll happen is, you're probably asking, what's going to happen with all this sticking out here? Well, one, you could do something really cool with the way that the wand structure is. If you want to clip one of these shorter than the other, you can make it part of your wand design, so that one is out here and one is here, and it just has this really neat like stick effect that kind of has like a rigid bump out here and bump out here. Or you can take paper like I'm going to probably do later. And you cover up this area with the battery with the paper. So we'll show you how to do that in a moment. So I've got one of them on that end, and we'll get some tape on this end. There we go. So now that that's there, what you can do is, I usually take my tape and stick it to the edge of the table. And that way, you can just quick grab it. Take that, so this will be the last piece around this. And it's kind of crude looking at first, but it gets there. Ooh, I think what I'm gonna do, I like the fact that, I don't know if you can see it from there, but I liked the fact that these pieces were kind of pinching this side. It's giving it a cool groove effect. So I'm gonna keep that there. We're gonna keep it nice and tight for now. There. I like that it comes, see how it kind of shoots forward like this. You can, so this will be a nice basis for that thumb spot that I was talking about, where this will be the handle, or what you can do is turn it around this way, and this can be your handle. But I like the grip that's happening with it being right here and up here. So I think what I'm going to do is find some stuff. What we do is we forage or find little knickknacks around the house for the little end here, like stones, gemstones, really cool looking rocks that you've collected over time, or just acorns or anything out in nature that makes it look really neat at the bottom that you can hot glue at the end. And that's all just down to your own customization. You make it however you want to make it. This is just how I'm doing this wand. So we're going to take and strip these leads. First we're going to cut them. See if I can get a clean cut with this one. Yep, no, that one doesn't like to cut clean. So like I said, that's why I have the other snips. So we got those. And what we want to do actually, in order to close the circuit properly, what you want to do is you want to have one shorter and one longer. We're going to come back to this though.